Shot, we have more Pokemon scalping. No way.
And now
No way. Let me see.
I still remember a long time ago. I must have been in elementary school
Oh my
at the time.
god, it is.
My parents had on the news, and a story came on about a local man that had killed someone over a single dollar. And I thought to myself, what a stupid asshole.
That's so
That
dumb.
instantly landed him on Santa's naughty list, and I couldn't imagine a more dumb thing to throw your life away over. Killing someone for a single buck. One clam. And now as a 31-year-old man, I see how silly I was in my youth. It's so cringe how naive I was back then. Makes me want to spit. Because killing someone over $1 doesn't even make the top 10 list for dumbest things people are willing to kill over. I want to show you number 1 though. The dumbest thing people are actively fighting and shooting each other over. Pokemon cards. Earlier this month I covered the Pokemon card related shooting, and now I want to show you probably the biggest fight I've seen over Pokemon cards that just unfolded yesterday.
How big can it be? Is it like is it an orgy
didn't even cover the pseudo police chase that happened after a Pokemon card related scuffle in a parking lot. Like, it's just complete pandemonium. People are actually taking this to the extreme where fights, a shooting, and I'm sure there will be death related to Pokemon cards pretty soon, because that's where all of this is going. It is so unbelievably pathetic and embarrassing.
What the hell? Poke Street.
Look at this shit.
Whoa!
No security!
Holy crap, dude!
Oh, what the fuck? Nice.
There's a lot to unpack
What
here,
the
and
hell?
this isn't
Are you
the only
serious?
angle. We actually have the director's cut, which is about 2 minutes of bonus footage here that shows everything leading up to it, and then even more of the fight. This is just the 30-second, like, montage meatball, you know? So a bit of the lore. There was a Pokemon restock. Uh-oh, sound the alarms, red alert, Thunderdome, online. Pokemon restocks are literally where people go to just exchange knuckle sandwiches as they fight over Pokemon product to try and scalp online. They try and get their grubby paws on as much as they can at Target, Walmart, Costco, Best Buy, whatever. They line up for hours, overnight, camping out from fucking like midnight all the way to like 8 a.m., camping out for their chance to get their hands on Pokemon products. I've shown you tons of videos of these incredibly long lines wrapping around the entire goddamn county to get there. And then when they do unleash the horde, it always turns into shit like this. But typically it's a lot of bumping and grinding, a lot of like basketball boxing out. They kind of throw their ass in a circle to, you know, get them away from the product. It's not often that it's a full-blown skirmish like this, but it's always messy.
I've never seen anything like this before.
It does sometimes get pugilistic. This one's a little more on the upper scale of what that looks like. That had like a takedown, a little ground and pound action. But all in all, Pokemon restocks are the most dangerous places in America. When Pokemon restocks happen, it's like the purge going online. So you need to just stay indoors, locked down, and just fucking sleep in fear.
God damn, dude.
Now, when we pan around after seeing the initial charge at the shelves here, we already see the protagonist on the floor kind of sprawled out. I think the guy in the tank top was the one that started it by shoving that guy to the ground in order to better secure his spot at the shelves so he could gluttonously get as much as he can. And then the guy gets up off the ground and then just fucking bull rushes him, slams him into the shelves, which disrupts all of the other scalpers there. One guy right next to him with the long hair does one of these with a box in his hand. He wants no part of that action, which is understandable, but if you're not looking for a fight, why are you going to a Pokemon restock? This is a fight club. You should expect it. You can literally see the stink fumes coming off of these losers too, by the way. These
Rule number one, you never talk about Pokemon
that are
scalpers.
ruining this hobby. Also, don't be like them. Don't be a smelly asshole. Fix your hygiene. Use cheeky soap. Best soap in the universe. Our queso bar is out now. Go to usecheeky.com. Best soap ever. You're going to be feeling amazing after your shower. You're going to be smelling great.
Yo, security!
God damn, dude. What the hell, dude?
Oh, what the fuck? Nice.
And here's my favorite part. The cameraman sees an opportunity and he slyly takes the product that's now on the floor. He's like, guys, what the fuck? Oh, this is so gross. This barbarism. What are we doing with Pokemon cards? It's tearing us apart. And then he scurries away with that Pokemon box that they dropped in the fight.
What a rat.
Every
What
person
a little
there is
fucking
a
rat.
scalper. It's so fucking cringe. And they're so unapologetic and shameless about it. So yeah, there's two dudes fighting over it, but everyone there's a fucking
Maybe I'm probably the only one or so. I probably would record these fights and just kind of like record it and just be like the action shot and everything. Just have a drone or so and just take the overtop view too on top of that, you know?
loser too, including the camera guy. Though, I will say, I'd rather it in his hands than the guys that are fighting about it, I suppose. I mean, it's not like my heart breaks for them that they just got their Pokemon box taken out from under their nose. It's so fucking sickening just how poison this hobby has become with these worms. These vile, putrid worms. Now, let's turn our attention to the director's cut so we can get even more context and even more lore.
There's more?
We saw kind of the climax there of the finale where the dude got the Pokemon product beat out of him like it's Sonic's rings when you take damage in the game. And then we got the POV, like the Cloverfield footage showing the fight.
I'm recording.
The fuck? God, these people are waiting like this early in the morning or so?
Come on.
Where's this at?
I know, man.
Those doors are not strong enough to hold back these zombies. They're driven by one thing and one thing only. $2 profit from scalping Pokemon products.
Jesus.
Lord have mercy on us all.
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Your problem?
And there it is,
Jesus
the all-out sprint
Christ.
once they've infiltrated the facility. The camera woman gets shoved in the back, she gets pushed, and then turns around saying, what the fuck, who did that? And then we see the guy in the tank top's already got the other guy, like, wrapped around and trying to, like, to carry him away from the shelves.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Golly damn, Jesus.
Bro, what the fuck? Yo, security!
You can see our previous cameraman in this
Oh,
angle
is that the guy
here. You
right
can see
there?
him filming
Yeah, that is
in
the guy,
background.
yeah.
So he's kind of on the outskirts here. He didn't actually want to get in on the tussle, so he didn't, dogpile on the product shelf. He's instead just filming everything in the back, at least until that Pokemon box lands in his lap. But anyway, the camera woman is right here in the thick of it. She gets a big handful of boxes herself. We saw her in the other angle as well. She's
Golly
calling for
Lord,
security.
dude.
Security
I
is
swear.
nowhere to be seen right now. And
I've never seen a bunch of losers
Walmart
going so
security is
hard
not
for
equipped to
fucking
handle a
goddamn
situation like
Pokemon.
this.
A
You need
fucking
some heavy-duty
cardboard box of a fucking picture of an animal on it, dude. I've never seen anything like this before. I think I've only seen like people gone crazy or so, like in the videos from YouTube from like many years ago of Black Friday. That's it. That's like literally it. That's the only time I've ever seen it.
armed guards here. You need fucking Judge Dredd out there in order to effectively enforce order during Pokemon Restock Day. The pandemonium is just too chaotic.
Stop! Yeah, you're gonna get hit. What the fuck? Yo, chill the fuck out. Yo, this is crazy, bro. Yo, you're gonna get fucking banned. The fuck you here cutting the line for what? There's enough for everybody.
What a smooth move from that camera guy right there. You saw him pick up the Pokemon box,
Wait,
and then he
wait,
kind
wait,
of
wait, wait. He did. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Yo, you're gonna get fucking banned. The fuck you here cutting the line for what? There's enough for
Oh
everybody.
my god, he
What a
did.
smooth
He
move
did.
from
He
that camera
did.
guy right there. You saw him pick up the Pokemon box, and then he kind of hides it with his chest back towards the guy, and then wraps around the register to try and de-aggro, hoping that he's completely forgotten what he was there for. Because now that he's been in a fight, adrenaline's pumping, he's not thinking straight, so it looks like he totally forgot that this was about Pokemon cards in the first place, because he forgot that he even had a box. So now the camera guy gets that box and he walks away fucking empty-handed. And the camera woman here is trying to say, like, why are you cutting in line? There's enough for everyone. I like how the cutting in line is the thing, you know, that's out of control. Not the fight or anything, not actual throwing, you know, haymakers and slamming each other on the ground. That's civilized. That's normal to be expected in a Pokemon restock. But cutting in line, that's too far. Don't you know there's enough product for everyone? Which obviously isn't the case. Every person there has like an entire armful, like genuinely like 30 boxes each, including the woman here. She's got like 5 in her own paws. Like there's definitely not enough for everyone. There's not enough for anyone who actually engages in the hobby, by the way. Families, kids, they do not get a chance at this because of people like this.
Fucking be here for the fucking whole night. You wanna be there? Yeah, motherfuckers been backdooring. Yeah, backdooring.
Who the fuck is backdooring? Shut the fuck up, bro.
God, Jesus, so violent. Oh my god, it's just a bunch of fucking cardboard. Y'all
Bro,
a bunch
fucking
of
push me
kids.
and everything.
Imagine doing all of this for a goddamn piece of cardboard. Just reselling them because, you know, because you a bitch like that, you know? You're just reselling them and it's supposed to be for like a bunch of kids, you know?
She hits like 4.
No wonder kids are pretty dumb now these days because they don't have hobbies they can get into because you got these like actual annoying people in the actual hobby themselves taking it and then reselling them at a more higher profit. That's the reason why.
On the way out, she's steaming. She's very upset that this Pokemon restock went this way. They're usually so civil. They're always so good-mannered when it comes to scalping. I can't believe this. I am also peeved, if I'm being honest, to see this kind of behavior come out of nowhere. It's so weird. So weird. And man, Pokemon restocks too. Usually such a sacred event that everyone's always, you know, holding hands and celebrating together because they just love the hobby so much. They're big Pokemon fans. That's why they're there, right?
It's funny, over here, you can still buy Pokemon packs and boxes and booster boxes and everything. You can still buy them over here. They don't run out over here because we don't have scalper issues whatsoever.
This shit sucks. I'll drop the sarcasm. Every Pokemon restock is like this, and they're only getting worse. It is just these fucking parasites, man, that are constantly grabbing as much product as possible to try and instantly turn around and flip it. I actually went to one of my local card shops a couple days ago, and one of the employees there was talking about this phenomenon and just how out of control it is. And they were telling a story about one guy in particular. I'm even going to say his name. Fuck him. If he's watching this, you're a piece of shit anyway. They call him Spencer, who is like an aggressive scalper like this. And apparently he always shows up with like a bunch of product that clearly he just takes from like these restocks because he camps overnight. And of course he's not alone, but this is someone that they've actually formally banned from their shop because of just how out of control he and scalpers like him are. But what they would do is they'd only offer him like $1 more than what they paid. And since they usually walk away with like maybe 5 boxes or something and they're trying to instantly turn around and flip it, they make a profit of like literally a couple of bucks, which means they don't actually make a profit. They lose money because you have to factor in the gas and the time they spend waiting. The gas to the shop and then back home. So they literally lose money doing this, but they're so delusional that they think that they're going net positive. And I'm sure this isn't the only card shop doing this because it's pretty clear when you have just scalped product or, you know, spawn camped a restock because they instantly turn around and sell it and they know nothing about the hobby. So card shops are just basically giving them like $1 more. And unfortunately, card shops do usually have to buy this product because since they're gobbling it all up, and since Pokemon product is flying off the shelves everywhere, they're needing product. So they do have to sometimes engage with these scalpers, but what they're doing is they're only giving them like $1 more than what they paid. So like I said, they literally go negative because of gas and the time they spend there. One person in this video here even said that they stayed there all night. That is all night they have wasted there, plus gas, and then they're going to turn around and sell it at a local card shop for literally $1 more than they paid. And I'm sure it's not always $1, maybe it's a couple of bucks. Point is, the card shops, they lowball the shit out of these scalpers because they know. And the scalpers are always desperate to immediately get rid of the product because they don't want to squat on it. They don't want to sit on it for a long time because they don't know what the market's going to do. So they're instantly trying to sell it all as quickly as they can. So they usually take these really small amounts over what they paid. You lose money on it, and yet they still just go ferocious over it. It's so stupid. And it just ruins the hobby for the people that actually want to engage in it. And the people that it was made for, you know, children. They don't get the cards anymore because of this trash. It's super out of control. I wanted to tell that little story, though, at the card shop, because a lot of people seem to think that they do actually make decent profit. They don't. There are some scalpers, though, that you probably see online that use bots to literally bot hundreds of products, and those scalpers probably do make a little bit more on it because they get so much of it and they squat on it for a really long time. But these kind of like Walmart and Target spawn campers that just go in there for the restocks, and TCG vending machines, the Pokemon vending machines, they are making maybe $5 in total, which is not actually making $5 because they still lose money from all the gas and time they waste doing it. And some of them even just call out on
but I assume some of them would sell them in like third marketplace, right?
Restock days. They literally take the day off work for it. So then they're even deeper in the hole. It's just so fucking pathetic and cringe.
Sad in my personal opinion.
This was probably the most over-the-top fight I've seen so far, a Pokemon restock, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more. Anyway, that's about it. So, yeah.
Honestly, there needs to be like a crash or so on Pokemon, in my personal opinion. It's so stupid for these scalpers because Pokemon is like legacy. They have legacy value. What the fuck is legacy value? Yu-Gi-Oh! Instead is like, unless it's nostalgia baiting, the new cards are expensive, are the expensive cards. They sell in droves. So these scalpers are dumbasses. Unlike in Yu-Gi-Oh! If it's meta or so, it's what it costs more. But if it's not meta or so, it costs less. And that's kind of like basically how it works when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. I think like what is it? The quarter century ones, the Bonanza and the Stampede are probably the only ones that like cost pretty expensively, at least for a lot of the cards in there, because of all of the nostalgia cards that are in there. That's kind of like basically it. And that's yeah. Because some of the newer sets, you know, you would have to wait until like for the price to fluctuate for quite some of the cards or so, depending how the meta shifts or so in tournaments and championships and everything, who wins, you know, and blah 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 blah. That kind of like fluctuates the pricing value to some of them. Question mark? I'm not too sure. I'm just trying to take a guess or so to see how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works, but I just don't understand for Pokemon, you know, when they come after these things. I'm like, I really do feel sorry for the Pokemon people. Not gonna lie, I really generally do. I feel sad for them. Like, they don't deserve this. They really don't. Legacy value is just a term for people who buy as investment for time for it to become old. So like they buy and wait for 5 years or something like that. Oh, is that what that is? I don't know. For me, I just rather open the cards and open the packs and I don't know, collect them in my collection or so. That's what I do with Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm like, not that long ago, we pulled an overframe card because one of my local card shops has the limited collection set, and I pulled one Starlight Rarity card overframe, which was pretty cool in my personal opinion. It was really cool to see that though. So I have it in my collection now, so maybe one day I'll be able to showcase one of these days on stream, and then record it and then post it on YouTube or something. Be like, hey guys, look, see, this is my collection or so that I've been collecting for many years or so. You know, here you go. You know, hope you guys like it. You know. Rather buy packs and play with it. Glad one of my niche card games hasn't affected yet. I don't think so. I think it's only like the mainstream stuff. Only the mainstream are gonna be like super popular compared to, you know, compared to the rest, like One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and then I don't know what else. I don't know what other cards there are. I know like I know there's more, so but I just don't know their names off the top of my head because in my local card shop, specifically the third one, there's like so many different types of like cards with different game stuff, like different overall or so that I never even knew the name of them. There's like a whole bunch of them too as well. So I'm just kind of like, wow, I didn't know there were so many like different card games in general. I would never sell any of my cards unless it's something I want to keep. For me specifically, I think I'd keep my if I pull like a master, like an overframe master card, like I'd still keep it. In order for me to part ways with it, it would have to be like I'm in dire, like it's a dire situation, or like I need the money like really badly for something. That's the only reason why. That is literally the only reason. But yeah. That is my only justification, but even then, it'd probably be really hard for me to part ways with it. So it'd be really, really, really tough for me to be like, you know, to part ways with a Grandmaster overframe card in my possession. So, but yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And honestly, kind of sad. This is just really sad. They are literally straight up parasites. I feel so sorry for the Pokemon fandom. I really do. Like, you know, especially when, you know, the kids become adults. They have kids now and they want their kids to, you know, get into the Pokemon what they used to get into when they were little. But now they can't get into it because, you know, you got these people ruining the hobby for them. You know, they're not like us for real, Sag. But my general rule is for myself with Yu-Gi-Oh! If I only have one card of it, I keep it. Only if I have more copies would I ever consider selling cards. I probably would just get rid of the cards that I don't personally want. Because I have some cards or so that I would like to get rid of that I don't really personally need or so. That's kind of like basically it though. But the problem is like those cards are not really like meta play at the moment. So unless like some crazy meta changes where those cards are becoming more sought after, then maybe like people will take them off my hand, but the chances of that is very slim. So yeah, it's like super slim. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. And honestly, like I said, I feel sorry for Pokemon fandoms. They really do. They don't really deserve this. And peace.